is In the Know for Tuesday, May 17, the 137th day of 2022. There are 228 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. It's Election Day. It's an important milestone today. We will tell you it's also got a home invasion to tell you about locally. All kinds of stuff going on. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's a 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So much going on today. So much.
It's a busy week.
We got 10 pounds of potatoes to put into a 5-pound sack today. But we'll do very, very well. Tonight is kind of the ultimate sporting contest. It's Election Day, and I know you're excited about seeing the totals later today.
Thrilled.
Oh, I read that wrong. You're not excited at all?
The way you're putting this, are you expecting play-by-play coverage and all of that tonight?
I just know how much you love numbers. You love statistics.
I do love numbers, but sometimes when they come a little fast, it can get a little much.
So you like numbers, but at the proper pace. All right.
Now, if that happens tonight at a proper pace, I'm all in.
Good to know. Over there in chair number 3, we say good morning and welcome back. First Baptist Church Litchfield knows him as their worship and discipleship minister. The Internal Revenue Service knows him as Dennis C. Cook.
The name's Yukon Cornelius.
You lovingly know him as Yukon Cornelius.
Humble.
Morning, Humble Bumble.
That was really good. I like that.
Did I hit my stride just right?
That was good.
It's got sprinkles of the David Letterman introduction.
Yes, it does. That's right.
Cornelius.
I love it.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm back, everybody.
I'm glad to hey, you 2 weeks in a row makes it a string.
Sure.
Now you got a string of appearances going again.
Sure. I need to talk to you about next Tuesday, though.
Wait a minute. I thought it was the other Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. It's the following. Never mind.
Dennis told me
on assignment.
Dennis told me earlier this week that he needed to be on assignment a certain day, and I thought, wait, you're normally on assignment to us, so if you don't join us, does that make you unassigned, reassigned, or
I'm going to fail the class.
And I noticed
know
you ignored, I
didn't
I didn't reply.
I'm not sure.
That's my bad.
You're here. That's okay. I figured I would see you, and we would work it out.
Get
Hash it out
berated.
on air, right?
Yes. There's no better place than to do it than to do it. I'm excited today because you don't know why.
No, but I'm excited. I want to hear why.
Someone's birthday.
Yeah, somebody's birthday.
In the Know
Yeah.
is 11 years old today.
My goodness.
I completely forgot about that.
May 17th, 2011. In the Know was born. And I'm the only person who was here that day. Well, of the people who are here today. I know we got members of the audience who were here on the very first
Okay,
day.
that's good.
The May of 2011,
May 17, 2011. And
I would have been
you were in the 4th grade.
8th grade.
8th grade.
Eighth
Okay,
grade.
well, I was close.
8th grade. Okay.
And I will remind you, I do typically remind you on this birthday, if you may win a grand prize in pub trivia sometime if you can guess who the first guest ever to appear on In the Know was. First guest interview. First guest.
Oh,
ever on In
I
the
think
Know.
I do know this.
Who is
Is it Dr. Lee?
No.
No. Oh.
No. Now, you've got your stories mixed up. I understand why you would say that, but no, it's not Dr.
It's
Lee.
not the sheriff. Well, now it's not Sheriff Chaffins, even though he was not Sheriff Chaffins at the time.
Unless you know, you would not get this.
Your dad.
Nope. Nope.
Can you give us a hint?
He's a former state Senate president.
Oh gosh.
There's your hint. David Williams was the first ever guest on In the Know because In the Know was born on Election Day in 2011.
okay.
It happened to be Election Day was May 17th. Mm-hmm. And so this the first day that we did it, we weren't quite sure what it was going to be, but we had multiple interviews with gubernatorial candidates that day, and David Williams was the very first one. Now he did not win the election. He and Is Richie Going to Play Tonight was on were on the ticket that day. So anyway,
Well, I know I've heard the story from Misty about the start to the first ever show on how it went for her. Then that was a good one. How it had always been kind of something that you had considered, and then one day you were just like, "Let's go." That's at least how she told me.
I think that there's some folklore involved in there. And I think that's
Are
being.
you saying
well, I think
are you
that's
saying
being-
Misty would do that a little bit?
I'm thinking a sequence of events is being compressed into a nice, succinct story for your benefit. That's what I think.
Congratulations. Thanks for all that you bring to the community.
Thank you.
Where's the cake?
That's a good question.
Let me get Sarah on the phone.
You do know the cake maker. By the
I
way,
do.
I was on the way
A couple
into
of them, right?
I was, yeah, on the way into the poll. Am I moving? Yeah, there it is. There's my I voted sticker.
Nice sticker.
So I broke with tradition today. I voted before the show. I've never voted before the show.
Oh.
Never. So I have voted before work before, but I've never voted before the show. But it was this morning. I said I'm gonna duck in there, and I did it. And I was walking in the door, and a gentleman was walking out the door, and he said, "Are you Mr. Buckles?" And I said,
Who's asking?
I said, sure.
Sure, I am.
He said, I am subscribed to K105's YouTube channel. He said, and he mentioned the show specifically and In the Know. I was like, you're very important to us, so thank you very much.
Well, that's
So
nice.
I didn't catch his name, but it's out there. And I saw Judge Goff this morning, the younger Judge Goff.
Yes.
And I saw lots of smiling faces at the polls today. So
Good.
so it's good to see everybody. We'll circle back to Election Day in just a minute. It's going to be another beautiful day, maybe a little warmer than yesterday. The humidity will remain lower. Enjoy it today because we're probably going to see some raindrops tomorrow, at least some cloudy skies and some winds tomorrow, and then maybe circling back to that on Saturday. So just be prepared at that. They've kind of taken the sprinkles out of at least the weather graphic for Friday, which is good news if you're planning to attend the Grayson County High School
It's
graduation.
going to be hot.
Service. It's going to be hot, but I'll take it.
Weesh.
It's broadcast type of equipment doesn't do well in the hot, but it does better you can do more about the hot than you can the wet.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure that out. Mostly sunny today, a high of 85. Clouds increase late tonight, a low of 62, and then we'll see some thunderstorms tomorrow, an 80% chance of rain, and a high of 82. Bunch of headlines to get to today. I told you it was 10 pounds of potatoes.
All right.
The Biden administration think they have a strategy to try and remedy the formula shortage that our nation is fighting. They're going to fast track some of the FDA review processes, and they are going to prioritize companies that can provide the largest shipments and quickly show documentation that their formulas are safe and compatible with U.S. standards. I did see where President Biden is visiting Buffalo, New York today before going to Asia on his trip. I laughed at Elon Musk's tweet yesterday that said, Elon Musk figuring out a way to be in the news cycle for the better part of over a month now.
That's true.
He said the real president is the one who controls the teleprompter. I was, whoa, firing across the
Yes.
bow of the Biden administration there. Then McDonald's is de-arching Russia. McDonald's selling their real estate, and they're taking their McNuggets and coming home, at least getting out of Russia. They don't think it's any longer part of their business model because they don't see a quick end to the situation once they shuttered all of their restaurants, 850 of them, in fact, and they're trying to find a buyer. They're trying to find a domestic buyer in Russia that will come in, take over their operations. Obviously, the Golden Arches have to come off of them. And 62,000 workers is who they're trying to protect. That's a lot of
people.
That's a lot of McRuskis that are employed by McDonald's. Don't have a lot of details for you this morning, but troubling news from the Rabbit Flat community. The Grayson County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a man suffered critical injuries during a home invasion assault on Rabbit Flat Road. Last night about 10:20, the sheriff's office and EMS were dispatched to the 2500 block of Rabbit Flat Road after a 911 caller said 2 males assaulted a man inside his home. The victim suffered a severe head injury while being struck with an unknown object, was airlifted to University of Louisville Hospital. The 2 suspects left the residence in an older model white sedan. Witnesses said they were traveling north on Rabbit Flat Road. Deputies searched the area, but the search had been unfruitful. So no identities, no names, don't have any more details on you right now, but law enforcement continuing to investigate. Some of the violence that we've been hearing about in our nation over the weekend, obviously multiple mass shootings, including I mentioned Buffalo, and now you see like violence of some sort locally in our community. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of time to spend on it this morning, but if you have access to the Rick and Bubba podcast, I thought yesterday Rick Burgess did an excellent job. He sort of said it in a way that I said it. These things are hateful. Anyone who walks into a structure, a business, a meeting, a congregation, whatever it is, and starts shooting people, that's evil and hate filled. No matter whether that person is the same ethnicity as yourself or the same, whether it's same or it's different, it's all filled with hate. It comes from hate that comes from evil. And we really don't. In our nation, we don't want to have an honest conversation about where evil comes from. Like, we want to fix the byproducts of the hate and of the evil, but we're less inclined to want to have an honest conversation about the origins of the hate and the evil. And it's multi-pronged. It's not just one thing. It's many things that we're going to have.
Can you fix that, though?
You can keep it far more contained than it is in 2022. There's far more.
I don't know what to do.
When I'm nearly 51, I can tell you there's far more of this than when I was 11. You can just follow the graph. There's no mistaking the graph, and so we've just done some things with our world in my lifetime that's giving us a much different outcome, and it's a troubling outcome. That it is not a singular fix. There's a multi-pronged fix. COVID-19 related deaths in Kentucky dropped significantly last week, but new cases, hospitalizations, and the state's positivity rate all rose, as did the number of yellow counties, primarily along our border. You'll see extreme eastern Kentucky that is now in the yellow. Jefferson County is now back in the yellow, and then you've got Henderson County,
Union?
Henderson and Union County along the river over there that are back in the yellow. But 6,443 new cases reported to state public health officials last week. That's, we're closing in on double from the previous week. There were 3,300 on the May 2nd report, 3,957 the week of May 9. So over a 2-week period, we're back into 6,400 where we were at. 3,300 and some change. There were 8 counties had 100 new cases. Obviously, Jefferson, Fayette, Hardin, Kenton, Campbell, Oldham, the ones you would expect. But the best news was COVID-19 related deaths. 96 in the last week. May 9th saw 167. There was 156 the previous week. So that at least that number is better than the previous week, but not good enough. A Callaway County deputy and suspect are dead after a shooting in Marshall County. The state police critical incident response team is investigating a double shooting that occurred yesterday afternoon about 2:10 in Benton. Authorities, at least I don't have a lot of details or information on it yet. They may have just started circulating this morning. But they, at least according to my information, they're not releasing what preceded the exchange of gunfire in front of the Marshall County Sheriff's Office and near the Marshall County Detention Center. Those areas were blocked off while they investigated the deadly incident. Both the deputy and suspect were transported to a local hospital where they died. Governor Beshear offered the sentiments of the state on that tragedy. It's Election Day, as you know. As I think you probably know. For some of you, Election Day was Thursday. Some of you, Election Day was Friday, maybe Saturday. Maybe you voted absentee. There are multiple ways that you could do that. And then probably the biggest majority of people are voting today, 6A to 6P. I will tell you, I voted at Center on Main. I think it's the location of 4 precincts, and extremely easy. It is only the second time that I've done the paper ballot and then scanned. And I liked the old dial machine where you tapped them and then you cast your ballot.
Right.
And I liked that.
Right.
But I've decided I think I prefer the paper. I walked in, scanned the back of my driver's license. I had to sign in on a tablet and said, gave my signature instead of putting it on the paper. They handed me a paper ballot. I went back I filled in my rectangles. I went over, shoved it in the machine, and Miss Shirley gave me a sticker, which I put on upside down until Sam told me it was upside down.
I didn't know if you were trying to make a statement or something.
That was awkward.
I was not making a political statement of any.
I didn't know.
Or I was not being held under duress. A lot of times you see an upside down flag. It's a universal signal for distress. So it was extremely easy. So I thank all the poll workers who are hard at work today. I will direct your attention to K105.com tonight, where we will have the results. You'll be able to follow along visually with the voter totals, and you'll get some sneak peeks on what's going on inside the courthouse. And as those, so you can follow along on video, like on your smart TV, or you can on your tablet or your PC, or you just be able to see the same totals as they go into the system. There are about three, I think, races that people have the most interest in the way of they're not quite sure how they're going to go. 2 primarily, but then there's been another. The third race is a little more troubling. I think the coroner's race obviously has a lot of people's attention because it's a 3-candidate race, and there are different options, and not quite sure. Like, well, it could happen. The incumbent could have the office, but then you've got multiple challengers, and one challenger could be taking some votes from the incumbent, and there are just some dynamics there that it's hard for me in my medium level of expertise to say this is how that race is going to go. I also am not wise enough to be able to tell you how I think the county attorney's race is going to go. I know both candidates, and I hold both candidates in high regard. I can't tell you. I can't sit here today and predict on that one. I think I'll be surprised either way. Like when I say, okay, well, all right, that's what the people, that's what the people wanted, and that's what the purpose of our elections are. The most troubling race to me over the last couple of weeks has become the state representatives race. And what bothers me about the state representatives race is the amount of dark money that's flowing into this race that really should be really decided by Grayson Countyans and a sliver of Hardin Countyans. If you'll look where the sponsorship money is coming from, or some of these digital ads that are appearing in certain places, the paid for state slug on those is very rarely either of the candidates. And this is what is bothersome to me, is a lot of the mailings that are in your mailbox are coming from Washington, D.C. And so it's a primary that has the feel of a general election. It's almost as if I have long worried about the Republican Party becoming fractioned to the point that it turns on itself and, one swallows up the other, et cetera, because there are some extremes within the Republican Party. Now, there are extremes in the Democratic Party, too. But right now, because of the majorities being most often held by Republicans, you're just seeing, especially in state government, you're seeing what I think is a dangerous topography, if you will, for lack of a better term. So I have become unhappy and dissatisfied with the complicity of outsiders trying to put their thumb on the scale in this race. And I fear that voters might have taken the bait. I think the voters might have been led to a different decision based upon something that showed up in your mailbox or on your phone or on, this is my point, is if we could remove all that chatter and that clutter from people who don't have a vote in the race, then the people can make a more educated guess and vote for whatever candidate they think represents their best interests. And this little race, this little state representative 18th district race, is a microcosm of what's going on in our world politically, and I don't like it.
So I get that stuff in the mail, and I see that stuff, but that doesn't bother me. I still want to look and figure out things for myself, and I hope a lot of other people have that same opinion. I don't want to be swayed by things that just get mailed to me. You know,
I honestly get mad when people mail stuff to me.
It doesn't bother me because I know my vote is going to be based upon the merits as I know them, because I choose to be informed, educated. I try to see the playing field. I try to make a logical decision. But they wouldn't do these things. People would not mail these things to you if they didn't work.
interesting.
There are some people that'll just see it and they'll go, oh, really? He did that? Oh, really? She did that? Oh, really? They did that? And then they'll just move it and go on. And then they'll go on down the street and they'll tell their neighbor, did you hear what they did?
Similar to if it's on Facebook, it must have actually happened.
That's exactly right. So I don't. So there are about 3 races today that I guess I will have the most interest in because I just don't feel like I know how they're going to go. I do know it's going to be a big day for Noah Thompson. He will be in his hometown of Louisa today, getting a welcome home parade. He'll be doing a free concert, and we'll get to see a lot of the byproducts of that on Sunday during the American Idol finale. And perhaps even the bigger Idol news today, it's been confirmed, Katie, Daisy, and Orlando are Kentucky residents.
I did hear about that.
Katy Perry finally admitted they are living in Kentucky and have been for a month to 6 weeks or so.
Didn't Big Clifty?
I thought it was down around Shrewsbury, but I may not have my information. May not
Crawdad
be.
Stadium, maybe.
It's like my board says, consider the source.
Yeah.
We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
It's deer season at Wright Implement, your local John Deere store. And if you're looking for a great commercial grade zero-turn mower, look no further than the Z930M. With optional airless wheels and more, and 60 months financing if necessary. Pick yours out today. Need a small compact utility tractor? Check out the John Deere 1025R. With loader, 60-inch deck, R4 tires, and more. Price to move today at Wright Implement. Online at WrightIMP.com. Offer ends 5/31/22. Some restrictions apply. See us for details.
When you see someone sipping on a crisp, refreshing drink from McDonald's, you may suddenly crave one too. And that's normal. It's more than a drink. It's a McDonald's drink.
Right now, for just $2, you can get any size frozen Coke, frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, or slushie. Try flavors like the new Tropical Mango or Strawberry Watermelon for only $2.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Prices and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
When you're feeling under the weather or concerned about your family's health, you want the support of a trusted medical provider who lives close by and is available to care for you and your family. Dr. Gregory Koo is a family medicine physician who is putting down roots in this community. With 22 years experience, he's now accepting new patients in both Caneyville and at Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center in Litchfield. Learn more online at owensborohealth.org/KOO.
Are you tired of politicians who sell you out and lie to you? With the election around the corner, Samara Hebron wants you to believe that she fought for your rights. But the truth is, in 2020, as Beshear closed churches and kept abortion clinics open, Hebron refused to help Kentuckians fight against shutdowns and mandates which devastated all our lives. She voted twice to extend Beshear's emergency, even as recently as January. We the people can end this madness. Let's fight for our rights, the unborn, and drain the Frankfurt swamp. Vote for Jacob Clark on May 17.
Paid for by Jacob Clark.
Netflix is looking into live streaming. Deadline says this could open options for the company to air live reunions, like the one recently held by the real estate reality show Selling Sunset, as well as enable live voting for competition shows. Netflix could also use the feature to air live comedy specials. This year, Netflix held its first ever live and in-person comedy festival called the Netflix is a Joke Fest. Netflix is, of course, looking for new revenue streams after recently losing subscribers for the first time in over a decade. Apple giving you some options in its podcast app. Now, if you want, you can only download a certain number of recent episodes, those within a set time frame like a week or a month, or only new episodes. You can also disable downloads entirely. Sony says it's launching PlayStation Plus on June 30th. The platform gives players access to a collection of games that rotate periodically. Some of the games available at launch for PS5 and PS4 include Spider-Man, The Left...
They all started looking real suspicious at him, and he jumped up and said, "Now just wait a minute, Jim. You know he's lying. I've been living here all of my life."
Today is Pack Rat Day.
I'm a faithful follower.
Luckily, there are no pack rats here on the show today. What?
Okay.
Are you admitting something, Dennis?
No.
No? It's World Hypertension Day today.
Oh.
It's Cherry Cobbler Day today. No thanks. You all can have mine. And it is Walnut Day today to show recognition and promote awareness of the walnut.
Okay.
Mind walnuts. I mean,
Well, let's have a day for that for sure.
Walnuts are the oldest known tree food. They date them back all the way to 10,000 BC. I think what?
I mean,
you don't.
not a fan.
Who
Not a fan of
cares?
the walnut.
No, I'm just saying.
Walnut on like a cookie or something.
But
That's
why?
good.
Why all the hubbub?
When they put Moses in the basket,
What's their
little
few?
basket, put him out on the river.
Just-
They think there were some walnuts in
Yeah,
there.
just for later. Here, take
Yeah,
this.
here's some walnuts later. Moses likes walnuts.
Good grief.
99% of the commercial U.S. supply and 2/3 of the world trade of walnuts come from California. California.
I did not know that.
California. Walnuts have always been considered important for their medicinal properties, including curing bad breath, reducing inflammation, and healing wounds.
Healing wounds.
I knew none of this.
I've had certain person walk up to me to say, "Here, have a Tic Tac." Not one person ever has walked up and said, "Here, have a walnut."
Exactly.
And because isn't walnut? Can't you like mark it on like a table to get rid of a scratch too? Isn't that a thing to do? Or
I don't know that one. Maybe.
Or I think that's
Like the
right.
shell of it?
Yeah, I think like you can mark it on it if your table has a scratch or something. I think that's a Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. I think he said that.
Don't be sharing false information on me. No,
No, we would never.
More recently, the nutritional benefits of walnuts have become more well known, especially their omega-3 fatty acid content.
Yeah.
And so I could give you the Bubba Gump, all the variations of walnuts. if you-
Now, that would be entertaining. That's what we're looking for here on the show.
Oh, look.
Tree walnuts.
Look at that. My mom says yes on my
Yes.
walnut thing.
All right.
Thank
Now,
you, Mom.
Good job, Sam.
Okay, but to be clear, you all just may be consulting the same wrong source.
Are you saying my mom is not right?
Check the board,
I'm not,
Sam.
My mom was-
I'm
my
not
mom's
saying. I'm not saying she's wrong.
She was an educator.
I'm saying it's likely that your all's information comes from the same singular source. So if that source is wrong,
Consider it.
And my source is my mother, and my mother would never lie to me.
yeah, but is your mother's source Ron
Well, I'm not
Swanson?
saying that she's lying.
No.
It's not, your mother's
I can't
source is
imagine-
not Ron
I can't
Swanson?
imagine it is.
Okay, then good. then the probability for this being accurate goes much higher.
What?
So she doesn't know who Ron Swanson is. That means she's probably right.
Yes, I
That's
think
good.
she is.
Do you, Dennis? Are you sour or sweet? Your preference in candy?
Definitely sweet. I hate sour.
You don't like
but my
sour?
son Alex,
Yes, he does.
all sour.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Eat sour all the time.
and sweet, but sour is the way to go.
He
Okay.
loves those little like airhead.
Yeah.
The man.
As kids in Grayson County too, Sarah says they get the sour spray on the shaved ice, and it like changes their world.
Really?
They love sour stuff.
Okay, so then let's see if this hypothesis can hold.
Okay.
If you love the taste of sour candies, then you might be an extrovert. At least that's what a survey of 2,000 candy lovers is telling us. Conducted for the Jelly Belly Candy Company, the survey digs deeply into the theory that a person's preference for certain sweets says a lot about their personality. Besides being extroverted, 59% People who love sour candy also identified themselves as more eccentric. That's 53%. Funny at 50%. Sarcastic at 51%. Chocolate lovers tended to describe themselves as optimistic at 76%. Shy at 67%. Fans of mint were most likely to say they're thoughtful. 79% of cherry candy lovers identify as introverts.
Well, the mint you said mint thoughtful?
Yes.
Because I know they always, when we would take tests in school, like during testing, they'd pass out the mints because it supposedly helps you think better.
We would trigger. Okay.
I don't know about that.
People who eat candy every day are more
what the
likely
teachers
to
would tell us.
identify as night owls instead of early birds. Sour candy lovers also tend to identify as honest. Cherry candy lovers are more likely to be dog people. Buttered popcorn lovers favor cats.
I've never gone out of my way for the buttered popcorn, like flavored jelly bean.
Yeah, I don't want that. I didn't.
Alex is an introvert, so that doesn't
I know.
match up.
That's why when you mentioned Alex, I was like, well, I wouldn't identify him as
He's got an
extrovert.
extroverted side to him, though.
He does? Oh, okay. So this is one of those classic cases where the parents don't see the real kid.
Alex is 0 or 100. There's no in between.
Especially when he eats a couple Airhead
and drinks
sour
about 6 20-ounce Cokes.
like bouncing off the walls.
Dennis, here's your assignment for May. Pringles is unveiling the new limited edition Scorchin' Hot Ones lineup. The lineup features the red hot taste of Hot Ones wing sauce in 3 blazing crisp flavors. There's Pringles Scorchin' Hot Ones, Los Calientes Rojo.
Bless you.
There's Pringles Scorchin' Hot Ones, Los Calientes Verde.
Green.
And there's the Scorchin' Hot Ones, the classic hot sauce. They will be available in stores in the month of July.
Well, they can't be worse than what's sitting over my shoulder over there. So,
hey, don't be bashing those sweet corn Pringles. Y'all are the ones that brought it up.
The most adventurous ones. We were bringing knowledge to the show.
It's a request. If you mention it.
The most fun that I had was the roulette Doritos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that day I was coming back into the studio to have another one, and they had disappeared.
Yeah, I liked them. I was like, those are good.
That's the one thing that worked with Mark.
Especially when you mixed it with the Three Musketeer or whatever that was there that
There was
day.
a day that did not go so well in here with those.
Yeah, I walked in here and about passed out from the smell.
Popcorn M&Ms. I got in trouble that day. Misty and I both got in trouble. Let's move on.
Popcorn M&Ms. Yeah. So you...
Yeah. Just lay it out there.
In today's world, we all have a tendency to we have a shoot ready aim type of philosophy where we'll say something or we'll make a statement maybe without fully having an understanding of what might be going on.
What?
You mean some people will just read the headline and not the story?
Perhaps a dad has been left fuming after his neighbor decided to leave him a rude note to sarcastically say congratulations for mowing his lawn. The nasty neighbor wrote, "Congratulations, you mowed." That's twice so far this year, I believe.
Now,
can you keep it up? Maybe weekly or at least every other week. Your neighbors would be very grateful if your house did not look like it was abandoned.
Oh, man. Keeps going.
Dennis, do you write this to your neighbor across the street?
Well, let's see. Finish it out.
The dad had a more than adequate reason for letting his house outside space fall by the wayside, as he's been taking care of his newborn baby and his 5-year-old child while his wife was in the hospital recovering from postnatal complications.
Yeah. That's a bad move there, Mr.
He wrote,
Neighbor.
he said, "I haven't been able to care for my yard as much as I would like over the past few months because we had our second child back in February, and I've been single-handedly caring for the newborn and our 5-year-old while my wife has been in the hospital recovering from postpartum complications. At no point has my yard been out of compliance with the city or HOA ordinances, and at no point has anyone bothered to approach me directly about the matter. Instead, we just received this anonymous passive-aggressive letter in the mail.
Here's the deal. It was funny at the beginning thinking it was, good neighborly fun between two friends.
Yep.
But the reality is, if you really are a neighbor and you care about the people there, when you're out on your mower, you go and mow their yard. Or enough
Especially
about them that you know that they had a baby. You know that they have a lot going on, and you don't ask, you just do it. And you take them a meal, and you care for one another, and you know what's going on. That's what a real neighbor
brother's
does.
keeper kind of thing.
Yeah.
You, if I were ever in the same situation, if I were the dad at home trying to care for new child, older child, wife was in the hospital, you're not going to see there's not going to be a billboard in our neighborhood announcing my struggle.
Yeah.
That's not something I would do. It's not something this father did. He just went about doing the best he could, holding it all together. And it's the neighbor's fault for not paying enough attention to notice, I haven't seen Mrs. Smith come and go. Right. Or I haven't seen, there are patterns that will telegraph to you that something isn't exactly right. Have they been your neighbor for a long period of time and they've always done a good job with their yard, but then all of a sudden you notice they're struggling with that? There's more there going on if you'll just go deeper than the surface. Absolutely. To just say this is, and we're just too quick, to just go, I don't like the way your yard looks. Well, is there something you can do to contribute to help? And, maybe you give as you get. You may find yourself in a similar situation.
Yeah. Our neighborhood, we have a little message group, and when it snows, send a little message, say, hey, don't get out. If you need something, call me, tell me. We're going to go get it. That's just part of who we should be as neighbors.
A Washington State trooper made a surprising discovery, jammed into the back of a U-Haul truck during a traffic stop earlier this week. Trooper Cunningham pulled over a driver hauling a car that was partially hanging out of the back of his truck on Highway 97 in Okanogan, Washington. His tweet said, I suppose it's moving season. Photos of the unusual scene show that a single packing strap was securing the car inside the back of the truck.
Wait.
The driver was cited for failing to secure the load and fined $139, but the driver didn't have a valid license, and the rented U-Haul was overdue for return. So both of them got impounded.
Yes. How did the person get out that put that car in there? Are they still in there? Did they check? They crawled out the back?
That's what I'm curious.
How are they going to get it out?
How that got in there.
They had to crawl out the back.
They'll just use the other end of that tow strap that's over the front of the U-Haul and hook something to it.
I've never seen something like this before.
And pull it out. By the way,
I'm surprised the U-Haul can carry that.
My Uncle Tim had something like this. This was done intentionally.
Yeah.
My Uncle Tim was pulling a cattle trailer on the Bluegrass Parkway last year, and a lady driving a Jeep drove right into the back on the Parkway. She drove right into the back of the cattle trailer, and it looked like that. So that does actually, it happens intentionally, and at least happens once unintentionally. And then an Ohio man who reported his truck stolen in Hillard, Ohio on Monday has been arrested after authorities learned that he stole the truck 5 days earlier in Delaware County. So I'm just offering the cautionary tale here that just because you have possession of a stolen truck does not make it yours, or I think that's somehow poetic justice. You steal a truck, the truck should be stolen from you.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
That's right. That's right. Two rights made an airplane, though.
Now, is the second stealer, does he get charged since it went?
Not sure how this works. I was just repoing it for the rightful owner. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
I'm Jeremy Loxton, and I'm seeking re-election as county attorney on May 17th. Grayson County is a county moving forward. My staff and I are asking to continue to be part of the push forward as we are just getting started. Service and improvement is our motto, and service and improvement is what you deserve. So on May 17th, please vote Jeremy Loxton for Grayson County Attorney.
Paid for by Jeremy Loxton.
Living on the lake is a luxury. Lake homeowners have been supplementing their properties with the best quality rock, stone, and asphalt products from Scotty's Contracting and Stone for years. Scotty's Quarry has been serving our lake customers with cleaner, underground mined, pure limestone for driveways, landscaping, and construction projects. Our crushed stone products can also be used to assist in erosion control near waterways. If you live on the lake, contact Scotty's Contracting and Stone for an estimate on high-quality products and service at 270-259-5696.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here at Midway Pharmacy.
The Grayson County Alliance presents Art in the Park 2022 this weekend on Saturday from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Central Time among the trees of James D. Bevel Park in Litchfield. The 9th edition of Art in the Park will have something for everyone. The return of the high school student art competition, the Tiny Art Show with proceeds from sales going to the GCA Food Pantry, and 2 stages of live music. James D. Bevel Park is located at 101 East Carroll Gibson Boulevard in Litchfield. For more information, visit gcaartinthepark.org or call 270-259-4000.
This is Sheriff Norman Chaffins with the Grayson County Sheriff's Office. Responding to traffic crashes involving injuries or deaths in Grayson County is a tough part of the job. There is so much out of your control when driving, but what you do have control over is wearing a seatbelt. Less than 2 seconds. That's all the time it takes to buckle up. Those 2 seconds will give you the best chance of surviving a crash, especially at night when the risk of death triples. Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives. Please, Grayson County, always buckle up.
The Department for Aging and Independent Living within the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services wants to promote the Aging Disability Resource Center, a statewide toll-free phone line that provides older adults, individuals with physical disabilities, caregivers, and professionals with information and assistance to promote independent living. Call to learn about home-delivered meals, in-home services, respite care, caregiver support, and Medicaid waiver programs to help, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Call 877-925-0037. Kentucky, we will get through this together. Paid for by the Department of Aging and Independent Living, the KBA, and this station.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. Sunny and warm today with highs climbing into the low to mid 80s. For tonight, down into the 50s and low 60s. Tomorrow, we're going to be watching for the potential for some stronger thunderstorms as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. Additional rainfall expected into Thursday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
A company always on the run.
Did you know it is only possible to dream about faces you have seen in real life?
I guess that makes sense.
So you would not dream about someone, a face you've never seen. Dennis seems kerfuffled.
I was going to say, are you okay, Dennis?
I'm thinking about this. What's the source on this?
He wants to object, but he doesn't know how to.
Consider the source.
That's why I'm questioning.
Since the 90s, Pixar has made animated films exploring questions like, what if toys had feelings? What if cars had feelings? Mm-hmm. What if feelings had feelings?
Yeah.
That's one of I love Inside Out.
Yeah.
Never seen that one.
Now it's time is what if elements had feelings? Pixar announced its upcoming 27th film called Elemental, coming June 16, 2023. The film follows 2 adorable beings made of fire and water who, despite their fundamental elemental differences, realize they have a lot of similarities. All right. Open to the lessons that might be involved there.
It's a far cry from WALL-E. I'll tell you that.
There's one I've not seen.
WALL-E's my favorite.
You are not missing anything with WALL-E.
Love thy neighbor. Popcorn. Just gonna get some popcorn.
One you need to watch is Cars. You seen Cars?
I have seen most of Cars.
No, you need go home tonight. Watch it all. It's the best Pixar movie.
I don't have to pay any attention to the election.
It's
I can just
not
watch
as
Cars.
Important. Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing.
Cars is going to be better.
There's a race. So, you have 3 people running. It's like the Corners race. You got 3 people running. At the last second, you don't know who's going to win.
I'll be right there at Radiator Springs.
So who's Tomater?
No, Tomater's not in the race.
Bridgerton announces Colin and Penelope will be the focus of season 3. That doesn't mean anything to me.
I didn't understand a word you just said.
For those of you that might be Bridgerton people. Jerry and Marge Go Large. There's a new trailer out. It stars Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening. Scamming the Lottery is a new show coming to Paramount Plus. All right. It's also got Larry Wilmore, Rainn Wilson, Anna Camp, Anne Harada, Jack McDormand, Michael McKean, and Yuli Schlesinger.
Can Rainn Wilson play another part?
Gonna try.
Yeah, he needs
He
to
almost,
try.
I mean, there's just some people that I don't know that can do it.
Mm-hmm. Bupkis. Edie Falco will play Pete Davidson's mom in a new Peacock series. That's believable. I've seen Pete Davidson's mom in real life, and she doesn't look that different than Edie Falco. So I don't know that it'll be a show that I think will be any good because I don't particularly like Pete Davidson. Jerry Jones says he could sell the Dallas Cowboys for $10 billion, but says, I will never do it. Please do. Please sell them.
Yeah, he never will.
Elon Musk and I will go together and we'll buy them.
Well,
it's sad, though, because, I mean, they won't have any shot at a Super Bowl for at least 16 years.
Elon Musk and I, we will cash in our Twitter stock and we will buy the Dallas Cowboys. That's the only thing holding me back from being a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Is Jerry Jones.
You got to just jump on the Bengal bandwagon.
No, now it's too late.
Too late.
I've got a big enough problem with my blue blood fandom to begin with because all of my blue blood fandom does predate their I was a Yankees fan in the 80s when they stunk. So
okay.
No.
So now's your time to become a Reds fan.
So why aren't you a
I've always
Patriots
liked
fan?
the Reds, by the way, because of the geography. I've always
see,
been.
and then you can use that excuse for the Bengals.
I've always been a Reds. No, I've always been a Reds fan. Like we would go when I was a kid, we would go see the Reds play. So if I have to have a National League team, it is the Reds. But I'm a Yankees fan. So
okay.
But I'm also a Lakers fan.
Ooh.
I don't know that I'm currently a Lakers fan. Well, Anthony Davis, I can be a Lakers fan
when he plays.
Malik Monk.
Oh yeah, and Ric Flair announces his final wrestling match this summer. Ric Flair will be returning to the ring.
How old is he?
For the final time.
What, 76?
73.
Wow, gosh.
He's gonna hurt himself.
Somebody should talk him out of this.
Yes.
Now, obviously,
who's a fair fight though? Ric Flair and who? Woo! I don't know who fair fight would actually be.
Is Hacksaw Jim Duggan still around?
Hillbilly Jim? I don't know. We got to get to a break. Come back. Finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family, and I wonder if you can relate to Denise and Tony's story. Like many newlyweds, their marriage was a dream come true, but it became a nightmare when Tony learned Denise had brought $10,000 worth of debt into their relationship. It nearly wrecked their marriage. And if you're carrying a financial burden, it may cause havoc in yours too. But to prevent that from happening, here's some simple ideas to help free yourself from your debt. First, start talking. Effective communication is crucial. Make an agreement together to make it a priority to pay off the money you owe, and commit to do whatever it takes to eliminate your obligations one by one. Next, come up with a detailed strategy for reaching that goal. Let's say you have 3 credit cards, each with a balance of several $1,000s. Make the minimum payment on the cards with the lowest interest rates. Then put whatever money you have left over toward the card with the highest rate. That's the best way to avoid losing too much of your money to interest. Finally, protect yourself against future debt. One counselor even suggests putting your credit cards on ice in the freezer. That way, you'll have to thaw them out before making any impulsive purchases. However you approach the problem, make sure you never allow yourself to fall into the debt trap again. For more advice on freeing your marriage from debt, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
The credit card debt happened when my daughter was born. I was using one credit card account to roll over into another credit card account, and it was snowballing.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
When I first called Trinity, the representative understood the need based on the situation. They were great people to work with. From the first phone call that I made, they had me on a track to mitigate the credit card debt.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
Working with Trinity gave me the ability to save thousands of dollars. My name's Doug, and thanks to Trinity, I'm debt-free for keeps.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Are you tired of politicians who sell you out and lie to you? With the election around the corner, Samara Hebron wants you to believe that she fought for your rights. But the truth is, in 2020, as Beshear closed churches and kept abortion clinics open, Hebron refused to help Kentuckians fight against shutdowns and mandates which devastated all our lives. She voted twice to extend Beshear's emergency, even as recently as January. We the people can end this madness. Let's fight for our rights, the unborn, and drain the Frankfurt swamp. Vote for Jacob Clark on May 17.
Paid for by Jacob Clark.
I'm voting for Shan Embry.
Shan Embry?
She's practical.
I think she's a hard worker.
Shan Embry.
She's experienced, working for the community.
I'm Shan Embry. Thanks for your support and your vote for County Attorney on or before May 17th. I want to keep working for you.
Shan Embry.
Shan Embry.
Shan Embry. Shan Embry.
I'm voting for Shan Embry.
Vote for Shan Embry.
Paid for by Shan Embry for County Attorney.
The following message is for the purpose of protecting property and saving lives. These 3 words may be the most important you hear today. Know what's below. Underground utilities are prevalent throughout your community. To know what's below, visit Kentucky811.org 2 to 3 days before starting any digging project. The underground utility lines will be identified and marked. This is a free service. Know what's below. Visit Kentucky811.org.
MB's point to ponder for today. What's a saying that kids today will never understand? I do that all the time, like to the kids, and in particular, Alea, I'll say something that is, some phrase that I learned from my parents, and I'll say it, and she'll say, "What's that mean?" And I go, "Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily get that." So I'll take one from my early profession and my childhood as well. You sound like a broken record.
Yeah, that's good.
You tell a kid, say, you sound like a broken record.
Records are kind of coming back,
but
though,
not,
a little bit.
not enough, not common enough that, they'll be out again by the time that today's kids.
It's vinyl.
Yeah, so they're not even called records. So, yeah, you sound like a broken record.
In Sunday school, Sarah and I teach a young married couples class. So, early 20s, mid 20s, whatever. And Sunday, I used the phrase, "Man, my toes got stepped on." And last week's sermon, they all looked at me like,
"What's that mean?
What? Who did that to you, and why?"
Right.
Why would someone step on your toes? I'd explain that.
Okay,
I did not know what it meant.
Trying to interrupt you? Is that kind of what you're saying? And stepping on your toes, or?
See, there you go. Good. That's just all. It's all about church. If you can, that's probably gives you some indicator of a person's upbringing if they've never heard that phrase.
True.
Because it's Sunday mornings is where you get your toes stepped on.
So if there is
some other,
if something, when somebody steps on your toes, it hurts.
Yeah.
Well, if something is said biblically in a sermon like that's so true, and it's something you're not doing well, you feel like they're preaching right to you.
When the sermon is preached at you, or it feels like it's about you.
It hurts. It's like, okay, oh man, my
it's
toes are
because
getting
the preacher
on.
gets so far in your face that he's stepping on your toes. Like that's where it comes
I've
from.
specifically asked for sermons not to be all about me.
A penny for your thoughts. Kids probably won't get that one. There are some others. That's like I had a hard time. I'm sure there are many. I had a hard time coming up even with a couple, but I know there are plenty.
Be kind, please rewind.
Alea laughs when I say, she argued with me for a while, and now she stopped arguing. She says TV, and I say television. So if I say something about television, she said, what's television? Like, okay. So, because it's all tablets, and it's all, it's not television. What's that? So, I'm dating myself. Any other? Oh, Toes Stepped On is a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Dennis, speaking of church,
talk to me.
First Baptist Church, talk to me. What's going on? We talked a little bit about VBS being off on the horizon, but what's the next? School's out this week, so summer activities, what do we need to know?
Something special this week happening at our church for all Grayson County graduates of the high school there. Is a baccalaureate service, and this service is a worship service that is geared towards all graduates. So the songs that we sing that honor the Lord also have the theme of looking towards the future and giving your life to God and living for Him. And Joey Snyder, he's going to give a charge to these graduates, a biblical charge to live for God as they leave the high school and go on to all the next steps in their life. That's this Thursday at 6 o'clock at First Baptist, and everyone's invited. All graduates have received a couple of different invitations. Graduates need to be there at 5:45 with their caps and gowns, and it's going to be a very special service. Vacation Bible School is coming up June the 13th through the 17th, and it's 9 to noon every day, and you can pre-register your child at fbclitchfield.com.
I saw where the senior class got to do their senior walks yesterday, where they went back to their elementary schools. We didn't do that when I was a student.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's a great thing. I think it's really neat to go parade through, walk the halls of where you came from. Not all kids, who are graduating this class even went to a local elementary school, but those that did, that started at kindergarten and worked their way through up to the hall and get to see their teachers that are still there. And I think it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, next year
they do that.
Alex graduates. He's going into his senior year, and we discussed this last night that on that day next year we're going to get him in his cap and gown. We're going to walk him down our hallway through the living room, through the dining room,
stop in each individual
the kitchen,
doorway,
and then right back to his room.
And go, I recall the day I got fussed at when I didn't do my homework. I recall the day. On television tonight, This Is Us. I think it's the series finale tonight on
Sarah
NBC.
Likes that show. I don't know if she's watched
We're
it.
way behind on it. We've got them recorded. We just haven't made it.
She is too.
I'm also recording tonight on PBS, Lionel Richie, the Library of Congress Gershwin Prize for Popular Song.
Ooh.
I think this will be phenomenal. There are going to be a bunch of people paying tribute to his songs, but then he will perform as well. So he's his album, Can't Slow Down, he was featured. They did a CBS Sunday Morning feature on him the other day, and I think it's 83, the Can't Slow Down, his album, his solo album. I think it was his first solo album. But he won the Grammy. He won Album of the Year and beat Purple Rain.
Whoa.
He beat Bruce Springsteen's
big. Born in the USA.
Born in the USA album, and there was one other that is iconic that you think, and Lionel Richie beat all of them that year.
That was Dancing on the Ceiling Later. Was that an album title?
I think it was on this
on that album.
I think it's on Can't Slow Down.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Today's highlight in history. This date in 1954, a unanimous U.S. Supreme Court handed down its Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka decision. In 1973, a special committee convened by the U.S. Senate began its televised hearings into the Watergate scandal. Birthdays today. Sugar Ray Leonard is 66. Jim Nance is 63. Hello, friends.
I almost would have thought he was older.
It's a
I don't know.
tradition unlike any other. He and Freddie Couples are about the same age because they were roommates at Houston together. Craig Ferguson is 60. Trent Reznor is 57. Jordan Knight from New Kids is 52. Sasha Alexander is 49. Derek Huff is 37. And I saw a really sweet photo posted. Glenna Black is obviously a dear friend and dear friend of the show. And her mother is celebrating her 107th birthday this week. Wow. And she got a visit from the Elizabethtown mayor yesterday. Best they can tell, she's the oldest living Hardin Countyan, certainly the oldest living Elizabethtonian. And so it's wonderful for Mrs. Wood
107, that's
to be
amazing.
celebrated. 107 years of age. And so I want to make sure that we didn't miss the opportunity to send our well wishes. And we think the world of Glenna. And she's so caring and always doing for us and others. And
She's a good cook, too.
Yeah, she is.
Last week, I had the opportunity, and I failed, to wish my mother a happy birthday.
I didn't bring that up, by the way.
Well, I was just thinking of my love for her, and because of that, I accidentally failed to mention happy birthday to her. So happy belated birthday to her. And this Sunday, my bride celebrates a birthday as well.
Okay, good.
So thanks for letting me share.
Happy to.
That information.
To be clear, I learned after the show on Tuesday that it was your mom's birthday. And I thought, I can only make it worse by reaching out to him to say, why didn't you mention your mom's birthday?
You know, it's not my show. I volunteer every Tuesday.
I
Come in,
understand.
provide a service, connect with the community, represent my church. And, you know, I love my mom. And I wish the best for her.
Gone but not forgotten. Dennis Hopper, born in 1936. Bob Saget, born this date in 1956. There's quick
right
work.
there.
That's the photo I saw.
Isn't that good?
And I thought, how come
I look
Dennis
good
didn't
right there.
mention-
Look at that. Another polo.
Let's go to Chart Toppers. Another Cubs polo to be specific.
Yep.
All
Looks
right.
good.
Let's see if we can. We're kind of late anyway.
Sorry about that.
We're over. No, it's not your fault.
Okay.
Say I look nice.
1954. Kitty Callan. And Little Things Mean a Lot.
Touch my hair as you pass my chair.
The needle skipping.
Name a Kitty Callan song you like better.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, you know that one.
This has to be it.
I defy you to name one that you like better. All right, let's go to 1963 is what I was going for. Oh yeah, Jimmy Soul.
That's a good bit into it.
Okay, the Shy Lights, Oh Girl, were number one in 72. 81, REO Speedwagon, Take It on the Run. And then in 1990, Travis Tritt was number one.
A 90s country song?
Yeah, I saw a post last night that puzzled me a little bit.
Not doing it on the radio, though.
I saw a bold claim that someone could sing more 90s country than me. And not specifically me, it was any me. It was
Anybody.
you and you and you and you and
Throw it out
you.
there.
I can guarantee you can do more than me.
And so what I wondered is, did you mean you can sing it better?
No.
Or you can actually sing more?
More. It's not a talent contest. Listen, I grew up, people don't know this about me, but when I was younger, I listened to two genres of music, all Southern gospel and country.
I thought
I was going to be the next
country
Garth
and
Brooks
Western.
when I was in early high school.
Okay.
But then, didn't happen.
And then, because you didn't have your square shirt, your square block shirt.
Yeah. Tried to get it. The Wranglers were so tight, though. Then they eventually didn't make them in my size.
That's what I like. 5 years ago today. Dennis, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
Good to
Have
see
a great
you.
day.
Good to see you next Tuesday, I think, and hopefully I'll run into you somewhere between now and then.
Okay.
MB's Proloism for today: time is precious, waste it wisely. Time is precious, waste it wisely. MB's Proloism for today: remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Dennis Cook, for Sam Gormley, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on.